Good morning students and welcome back to our Zoology class. And today's class we are going to discuss about a lot of interesting character regarding the kingdom Animalia. Anyhow, before we look into this today's portions, just we can do one review regarding this last day's class. Fine. Okay, so the last class we have discussed regarding basis of classification. As per this basis of classification, we have learned how the organism has been classified based on certain characters, right? So as per that, we have learned about the certain characters that such as level of organization. In the sense means it is cellular level of organization, tissue level of organization, organ level of organization, as well as organ system level of organization. Okay, then and embryonic layer. As per the embryonic layer, they have classified as two, that is diploplastic as well as the triploplastic organisms. And diploplastic organisms, they said it consists of only two layer, ectoderm as well as the endoderm, and triploplastic organisms consist of three layers, that is ectoderm, mesoderm as well as endoderm, right? And the third one is patterns of symmetry. So we said two basic symmetry, that is radial symmetry as well as bilateral symmetry. Fine. And the third one is coelom. So coelom is a cavity. So we know there is three kinds of coelom. We said acoelomate, pseudocoelomate as well as eucoelomate. Eucoelomate is again classified as schizocoelomate as well as enterocoelomate, right? And segmentation. So the repeated segment is called metamerism. Then again notochord, we said notochord, as per the presence of notochord, we can classify the organisms as vertebrate as well as invertebrates, or chordates or non-chordates. Fine. Okay. So last class we have discussed as per which basis they are going to classify these organisms, right? And now this class we are going to discuss about this kingdom Animalia. Okay. And today's class we are going to discuss this classification of kingdom Animalia. So 5 kingdom we know as per the 5 kingdom concept: kingdom Monera, Protista, Fungi, Plantae, Animalia, right? And this chapter we are clearly going to discuss regarding this kingdom Animalia. Okay, so we hope the last class I said to learn this 10 phylums names belongs to the kingdom Animalia. Hope you may have learned. And so the phylums are Porifera, Cnidaria, Ctenophora, Platyhelminthes, Aschelminthes, Annelida, Arthropoda, Mollusca, Echinodermata, Hemichordata as well as Chordata, right? This is the 10 phylums. Among this, today we are going to discuss regarding this first 7 phylums alone, right, which belongs to non-chordates. What do you mean non-chordates? There is no notochord for these organisms. That is called it is non-chordate, or we can say it is invertebrates. Is it clear? So let us look into one by one, right? Okay. So the first one we said, of course, it is kingdom Animalia, classification of kingdom Animalia, right? So we know kingdom Animalia consists of all the multicellular organisms. So all the multicellular organisms belongs to kingdom Animalia, right? So which means it's considered one vast group, right? That's why this kingdom Animalia, again they are classifying as 2 sub-kingdoms. Are you following me? 2 sub-kingdoms. So what are the 2? Parazoa as well as Eumetazoa, right? So Parazoa means it is a cellular level of organization, right? And the rest of these organizations, for example, tissue level of organization, organ system level of organization, and organ level of organization, everything belongs to Eumetazoa, right? So this classification is made based on organization. Is it clear? So there is 2 Parazoa as well as Eumetazoa, right? Okay, then as per this 10 phylum, the first phylum Porifera belongs to Parazoa, and the rest Cnidaria to Chordata belongs to Eumetazoa. Is it clear? Okay. So again this 9 phylums is getting vast group. That's why they are classifying these 9 phylums Eumetazoa again as 2 grades. Understand? Again as 2 grades. What are the 2 grades? Radiata as well as Bilateria. This classification is made as per the symmetry. Is it clear? Okay. Radiata as well as Bilateria. Okay. So this symmetry already we know, right? So now radiata consists of these phylums Cnidaria as well as Ctenophora. Cnidaria as well as Ctenophora belongs to radiata, right? And the rest Platyhelminthes to Chordata belongs to Bilateria. Is it clear? Okay, then again also it is platyhelminthes to chordate, one was to group only, right? So again this group is classified as divisions, two divisions. So the bilateria is classified as two divisions again. What are the two divisions? Protostomia as well as deuterostomia, right? Protostomia as well as deuterostomia. So protostomia means the coeloms, acoelom, pseudocoelom as well as schizocylum. Schizocylum already we know, eucoelomate is classified as two. One is schizocylomate as well as enterocoelomate, that we have discussed in the last class even. Do you remember? Okay. So protostomia includes acoelomate, pseudocoelomate as well as schizocylomate. Then deuterostomia include enterocoelomates. Okay. Then acoelomate means which phylum? Platyhelminthes. Pseudocoelomate means which phylum? Aschelminthes. Schizocylomate includes Annelida as well as Arthropoda. Right. Then enterocoelomate includes phylum Echinodermata and Chemichordata as well as Chordata. Okay. So this is the classification for kingdom Animalia. Is it clear? Shall we go to the next? Okay, so we are going to discuss about the first phylum, it is Porifera. Okay, first we are going to discuss regarding some general characters. Few general characters we are going to discuss, and we are going to discuss about very specific character. It is exactly for this phylum. Such a character also we are going to discuss. Fine. As per that, the first one is the habitats. Of course, we have to know where it is living, right? So, of course, it is living in the aquatic region. Most of this Porifera species is living in the marine, and a very few it is living in the freshwater also. Okay. And could you tell me the organization? Yeah, of course, cellular level of organization. Okay. Next one, symmetry. It's asymmetrical. Then nutrition. Here one of the another one character they said nutrition. Nutrition they said it is a holozoic nutrition. Holozoic nutrition means it's a complete nutrition. For example, we can say various steps will be there. Ingestion, taking the food, digestion, absorption, assimilation, egestion. This is the process. One by one process is going on, right? So that type of this nutrition we could say it is a holozoic nutrition. From ingestion to egestion. Step by step, this digestion process is going on. That we could say it is a holozoic nutrition. Understand? And intracellular means this digestion process or assimilation process is going on inside the cells. That is called it's intracellular nutrition. Okay. And the sixth variety this is a hermaphrodites. Hermaphrodite in the sense both male gamete as well as the female gamete, egg cell as well as sperm cells. Both is produced from the same organism is called as a hermaphrodites. Is it clear? Hermaphrodites means the single organism is producing both gametes, for example, egg cell as well as sperm cell. That type is called it is hermaphroditic type, right? Okay. And the next character it is a reproduction. Reproduction is going on by both the methods, sexual method as well as asexual method. So sexual methods means we know already, and the gamete will be produced. Egg cell and the sperm cells will be produced for sexual method, and it will fuse together. Then the zygote may form, right? Then asexual method means from the body parts the next organism will be produced. That is called it is asexual reproduction. So in phylum Porifera, both this type of reproduction is going on. Understand? Okay. Next one is development. Development, they say it is indirect developments. So what do you mean indirect and direct development? Indirect development means, of course, after fertilization, it will produce a zygote. Zygote will become embryo. But embryo pass through the next stages. It's a larval stage. Larva become as an adult. So that direction is called as indirect development. Understand? So egg to it will pass through the larval stage is called as indirect development. Direct development in the sense there is no larval stage will be there. Is it clear? So here this development is indirect. Okay. Of course, we said indirect development means surely there will be the larval stage. So the larva of phylum Porifera is Parenchyma and as well as this Amphiblastula. These are all the larva of this phylum Porifera. Understand? So these are some general characters we have discussed now, and some very specific character also there for this phylum Porifera. Shall we look into that? Okay. Among this, the first one is circulation. Here one specific circulation is going on in this phylum Porifera, that is called water transport or canal system. Water transport or canal system. Of course, you can understand water is transporting into the body. That's why they named it as a water transport system. Canal system means through one canal, one path the water is moving. So this is a canal system. Okay. So already in the previous class, I hope I said about the structure of this porifera, the wall of this porifera. The outer layer consists of the spinacocytes as well as the inner layer consists of the conocytes. It's a flagellated cell. Do you remember? Okay. So can you look into the figure? So here also the same figure I have displayed here. And the outermost structure is called it's a pinacoderma. It consists of the pinacocytes. And the innermost layer, the yellowish cells, it is called it's a conocytes or flagellate cells. Okay. And can you see this ostia? Ostia is a hole which is found in the outer surface of this wall. It is connecting to the inner surface, inner cavity, that is called the blue color. It is mentioned, it is spongiocele. So this ostia is connecting the outer surface or outer environment to inner environment. Is it clear? So through this ostia, the water is moving inside. So the water will take this oxygen and the water will take the nutrient. Everything may go towards this ostia and it will enter into this spongiocele. It is a central cavity. Okay. Then the cells will collect these nutrients as well as this oxygen, and the rest of this water will be eliminated along with this base through this common open, that is called it is osculum, which is at the top. Have you noticed? The outgoing water through osculum is mentioned at the top. So this is called it's a circulation for this porifera. So what are the uses is there behind this one? First one is food gathering. Of course, through this water current only, it is collecting the food also. It is bringing the food also along with this water current. So it is getting the food. Okay. Second one, it is useful for respiration, which water consists of the oxygen also. That's why. Then circulation. Everything is moving through this water. Then removal of waste also. So these are all the processes going on by this system. It is called it's a canal system. Do you get me? Okay. And the next one is the reproduction. So already we said reproduction is going on by two methods. One is sexual method, another one is asexual method. So asexual method, as we said already, the body parts may become as one new organism. That is called it is asexual reproduction. Understand? So here I displayed the figure. There this one parent organism is there. Right? From the parent, one bud is arising from the parent. And finally the bud will grow. When the bud mature, the bud will detach from the parent body, then it will fall down, then one new sponge will produce. Understand? So that is called asexual reproduction. So from the parent body, the part of this parent body is becoming as one new organism. That is called it is asexual reproduction method. Okay. Then what do you mean sexual method? Sexual methods means we can say already we said gametes will be produced. Egg cell as well as the sperm cells will be produced. So egg cell and the sperm cell is produced from the same organism. That's we said it's a hermaphrodite and it will fuse together. So that is what the cycle I have mentioned there. So first it is producing the egg cell and the sperm cells also will be produced, and the collar cells will receive the sperm, and egg also will be fusing in the next part. It is a fertilization. Then after fertilization it is becoming as embryo. Then embryo is becoming as a larva. So here the larva name is it is amphiblastula. Can you notice? Okay. Then this amphiblastula is becoming growing. Then it will settle at the bottom. Then from the bottom it will become as one new sponge. Understand? So this cycle we can say it is sexual reproduction. Is it clear? Okay. Shall we go to the next? The next one is a skeletal system. The skeletal system, they said it consists of one. The outer surface of this sponges consists of this glass-like spicules. Can you notice the yellow color? So glass-like spicules are present in the outer surface of the sponges. It is giving one support to this sponges or to the body wall. That's why it is performing as a skeletal system. Okay. Then few examples they said for this phylum Porifera. There is Cycon, Hyloneema, Calina as well as Euplectella. These are the few examples we could say for this phylum Porifera. Okay. So phylum Porifera, few general character we said, as well as few specific character also we said. Okay, shall we look into the second phylum? Fine. Okay, so the next phylum is phylum Cnidaria or Coelenterata. It's this old term for this phylum Cnidaria, right? And the new term is Cnidaria. So just we can see this general character of this Cnidaria. So the habitat is aquatic and lifestyle it is sessile or free. So sessile in the sense the organism may fit into one particular place and be there. It is immobile. Free in the sense, of course, it will be very free. It will be free movement will be there, right? Then solitary or colonial. Solitary in the sense it used to be alone. The organism will be alone. It won't be as a group. That is called solitary. But colonial means this organism will be as a group. That is called colonial form, right? Then organization is tissue level of organization. Symmetry is radial symmetrical, and the germinal layer is diploplastic type, and the reproduction is sexual reproduction as well as asexual reproduction. Both is there, and the development is indirect development. Of course, indirect development may consist of the larva, and the larva of this Coelenterata is planula, right? And now we can see this next special features. Is it clear? So the first very specific character is cnidocytes or cnidoblast. So it is one of the very peculiar character for this phylum. So cnidocytes or cnidoblast is one of the cells which is found in this tentacle of these organisms. So this here I displayed one figure. So there is a hydra, it consists of tentacle, and the tentacle consists of the specialized cells that is called cnidocytes. So this cnidocytes consist of the coiled thread that is called nematocyst along with the trigger. Okay, and when it is getting the prey, this coiled thread will uncoil and it will capture the prey. So that is one of the use with this cells. And another one, since it consists of the trigger, some cases they said it consists of the poisonous substance also. So it can penetrate inside the enemy, that could it would be able to defend this itself also. So that also another one use they said. It could escape from the enemies also. Understand? Next one, anchoring also. Anchoring in the sense this coiled tube will be catch in somewhere and it could anchor its body in somewhere else. That is called, it is called anchoring purpose also. Understand? The next one they said is circulation. So circulation means they said at this one of this example we said hydra, and the hydra, the central region of the hydra consists of the cavity. That cavity is filled with the water. So the water current is moving inside, the water is moving inside. So this water is moving through this coelentron, that is a central cavity which is present inside, and the water will comes out through the mouth. So that also mentioned there at the top, it's a mouth, and this mouth, or it is otherwise known as, it is a hypostome, right? So the water is moving through this coelentron and it is coming out through the mouth or hypostome. So this water is taking this necessary things, even oxygen and this nutrients, everything is taken by this water current. Okay, that is called circulation, and this method is used for digestion also. Digestion means after this digestion the waste also will be eliminated through this circulatory method. Is it clear? Nervous system. So nervous system means they say, and the nervous system will be as a form of net, nerve net. So here I displayed the figure. The body fully this nervous system, nerve is there as like a net. So that is why they said this is, and nervous system is present as a nerve net. Understand? And this is also one of the very specific character for this cnidarians. So the body will be in a two form. The body will be in two form. That is, one is this cylindrical form, another one is umbrella form. So the cylindrical form of this animal is called as, it is a polyp, and in another stage it will become as this umbrella shape. That shape is called, it is as medusa. So the organism is getting two form. One is polyp form, another one is medusa form. Polyp form means we can say cylindrical in shape, and medusa form means we can say it is umbrella shape. Understand? Okay. Then reproduction. So reproduction is going on by two methods we said, asexual reproduction as well as the sexual reproduction. So this is one of the asexual reproduction I displayed there. In hydra, the asexual reproduction is going on by budding method. So the body parts one buds may form first one, then it will mature and it will develop. Finally, it will detach from the body. Then this will fall down on the surface. Then it will become as one new hydra. That is called it is asexual reproduction. Okay. And sexual reproduction. Sexual reproduction means already we said it is sexual reproduction need gametes, right? Gametes. So of course it need this male gamete as well as the female gamete, egg cell and the sperm cells. Okay. So here listen. The first they said, the first figure it is explained as polyform of this hydra, right? Polyform. So this polyform is producing medusiform by asexual method. What do you mean asexual method? The part of this body may detach from the air, and from that one new organism will produce. That is called it is asexual reproduction. Understand? So listen me. First they said one parent organism is there. From the parent body one new bud may produce, or the part of this body may detach. Then it will become as one new organism. Okay. So here even they said hydras budding method also there, strobulation method also there. Budding method only previously we explained, right? One buds may form on the body. Strobulation method means they said the part of this body may detach from the body and that part may become as one new organism. That is called strobulation method. Okay. So now here parent hydra is there and the parent hydra is now in polyp form. Then by asexual reproduction method this polyform is producing medusa. Is it clear? Then this medusa is producing egg cell as well as the sperm cell. So this egg cell and the sperm cell is fusing together during fertilization. Then it is producing the zygote, and the zygote is producing the blastula. Blastula is becoming as a larva. It is called planula, and the planula is becoming as again polyp. Do you get me? So listen me. Polyp is producing medusa by asexual method, and meanwhile medusa is producing this polyp by sexual method. Am I right? So this process is called metagenesis. So polyform as well as the medusa form is going on alternatively. Am I right? Is it clear? That is called metagenesis. Fine. And again they said few examples for this Cnidaria. For example, hydrozoa, jellyfish, coral and giant green anemone. These are all the few examples for phylum Cnidaria. Is it clear? Shall we go to the next phylum? The next phylum is Ctenophora. Ctenophora, and this is one common name also they said it is called home jellies. Fine. Okay. So let us see some general character about this Ctenophora. So this Ctenophora they said habitat is exclusively marine. It lives only in marine water. That is called as exclusively marine. Then organization is tissue level of organization, and symmetry they said it's a radial symmetry, and the germ layer it is a diploplastic type, and sexes are monoecious. Sexes are monoecious means and male and female is the same organism. That is called it is monoecious, which means this gamete will be produced from the same organisms, right? Okay. Then reproduction in the sense sexual reproduction. Okay. Then development is indirect. What do you mean indirect? It may pass through this larval stage. So the larva name is side-dipped larva. Is it clear? Okay. Now we can look into this very specific character of this phylum Ctenophora. Fine. Among this, the first one they said is a locomotion. Locomotion means they said this animal consists of 8 lateral rows of ciliated home plates. 8 lateral rows of ciliated home plates. Can you see this 8 rows of the ciliated plates? This ciliated plate is useful for the locomotion, right? So that is useful for the locomotion of this organism. So that's why it is named, this organism is named by this home jellies, or it is commonly they call it the sea walnuts. Okay. Then another one character. Okay, and the next one is lasso cells or coloblast. So lasso cells in the sense, in the last phylum we said regarding the nidocytes, right, which is useful for anchoring and capturing the prey, etc., right. The same here, and this organism consists of the specialized cell called it is lasso cells, or it is called as coloblast, and this is useful for this for food, gathering the food. For example, at last it is mentioned coloblasts or lasso cells that secrete sticky fiber on contact with the prey. So with the sticky substance, it could capture the prey also, right? Okay. And the next very important character of this organism is bioluminescence. So bioluminescence means, already we said, it is one of the ability of the living organism to emit light. So it is one of the very peculiar character for this Ctenophora phylum. Okay. So these are all the characters we have said regarding this phylum Ctenophora, and now we are looking into this phylum Platyhelminthes. Fine. Okay. So phylum Platyhelminthes, few special characters first we can discuss, then we can move into the special characters. Fine. Okay. So phylum Platyhelminthes habitat, they said, is an endoparasite. So endoparasite means it is living inside these organisms, including human, we can say, right? And organization is organ system level of organization. And symmetry, it is bilateral symmetry. And the germ layer, it is triploplastic, which means it consists of 3 germ layers: ectoderm, endoderm, as well as mesoderm, right? And the coelom is acoelom, there is no coelom. And movement is unidirectional, it is moving in only one directional. And the nutrition is, it is absorbing the food from the host wherever it is, right? And sex is monoecious. So monoecious means, and both the gametes are produced from the same organisms, that is called monoecious type. And the reproduction is sexual reproduction, which means the gamete will be produced, sex cells, for example sperm cells and egg cells will be produced. Okay. And the development is interite. Interite means, we can say, of course it is passing through the larval stage. Is it clear? Shall we see the special characters? Fine. Of course, it is one of the very important character for this phylum Platyhelminthes, and Platyhelminthes is otherwise known as it is flatworms because it is dorsalo-ventrally flat. Dorsal side and the ventral side is very flat. That's why this it is a flatworms. So it is one of the example, we can say it's a tapeworm. It's an example for flatworm. So this is a figure I explained here is a tapeworm, head of this tapeworm, that is called squalex, right? And here they said these are the organisms, especially it's an endoparasite, so it has to attach in one side. So that's why they said it consists of this and suckers as well as the hooks. So the top of this head consists of the hook and the side consists of sucker. So these are all these organs which is helping for this attachment. That is called as one of the special character for these organisms, right? And the next, excretion. So excretion means elimination of these waste substances, right? That is called as excretion. And here one of the very special cell is there for this phylum Platyhelminthes is called flame cells. This flame cell is helping for this excretion, right? It is one of this very special cell only found in this Platyhelminthes alone. Okay, so here I have displayed the figure. It is a planaria, and here at the border consists of the excretory canal. From that only one canal alone they expanded again, and that canal consists of these cells that is called as a flame cells. So this flame cell is useful for this excretion process. Okay. And development, as we said, development is indirect development. So here this is passing through this various larval stages. Okay. And development is internal. Indirect means, as we said, it must to pass through this various larval stages. But here it is passing through many larval stages, and it is little complicated also. They said it is a developmental process also. And let us look into this figure and listen. So first they said is liver fluke is here, and liver fluke is producing the egg, and the egg will be converted as the next larval stage. It is called miracidium. And miracidium is converted to the next larval stage. It is called sporocyst. Sporocyst is developing as a radia. Radia is developing as a cercaria and cercaria. I'm sorry. And the next one, cercaria, is becoming as this metacercaria. Then metacercaria will be converted as one adult organisms. Right. So This is the larval stages it is passing through. Phylum Platyhelminthes. Clear? Then regeneration. It is one of the very special character for this phylum Platyhelminthes, and especially it is found in this planaria, right? And planaria is a very specific character is there. And if we cut this body into pieces, each pieces may become as one individual organism. That is called, it is very specific regeneration capacity is there in this planaria organisms. It is belongs to this phylum Platyhelminthes. So body of planaria cut into pieces, and each cut may become as one new organism. Okay, fine. And few examples we could say for this phylum Platyhelminthes, that is planaria, liver fluke, as well as tapeworm. Is it clear? So first we learned about this few general characters, then very specific character for this phylum Platyhelminthes. Okay, shall we go to the next phylum? And the next phylum is phylum Aschelminthes. So Aschelminthes general characters, and its habitat, it is free, as we said already. Free means it's a free swimming one, it is not depending on another one, and it is not a sessile one, it don't fit into one place, that is it is free movement, right? And parasitic form, parasitics means it will depend the host for its nutrition, everything, and it is to live in aquatic as well as terrestrial also, in every form it is safe, right? Phylum Aschelminthes. Then organization is organ system level of organization. Then symmetry is bilateral symmetry, germ layer is triploplastic, and coelom it is pseudocoelom. Coelom is there, but it is not a real coelom, that's why it is known as it is pseudocoelom. And segment is unsegmented body, the body there is no segment is there, and some cases there is an invisible segment will be there inside the body, and the whole body is covered by this layer called it is cuticle. The body is not segmented, the body is covered by the layer called it is cuticle. And here the sex is dioecious, which means male and female is separate, right? Okay, and the development is direct development also there, indirect also there, right? And the fertilization is internal fertilization. Is it clear? Shall we see the specific characters? Okay. Of course we said this is sex is dioecious one, so male and female is separate. So here it is one of the example is Ascaris, and here the male is smaller than the female. So female is lengthiest one, right? Okay. And the next one is digestion. Digestion here it is getting the complete digestive system, which means as this in this last class also, complete digestion and incomplete digestion. Do you remember? Complete digestion means the digestive system may commences from mouth and it will end in the anus. So between these two digestive organs will be there. So the whole organ may do the function, same function, digestion function. That is called it is complete digestive system, right? So here also I explained the figure, and the digestive system is starting from the mouth, and of course it may end as and pharynx and so on, intestine is there. Finally it will end with the anus. So this type of digestion is called it is complete digestive system, right? Then excretion. Excretion, they said here it consists of one special cells or special gland is there for this excretion, that is called rennet glands. It is marked at the last, rennet gland. So this rennet gland is useful for this excretion. So phylum Platyhelminthes we said this is flame cells. Is it clear? And phylum Aschelminthes excretion is done with the help of this rennet glands. Clear? And here also we could say few examples, that is for Ancylostoma and Wuchereria, Ascaris, Rabitis. These are all the few examples for phylum Aschelminthes, right? Let us move to the next phylum. It is phylum Annelida. So phylum Annelida also is one of the very familiar variety. We can say it is a earthworm. It's a segmented worm. The body is segmented one, and let us look into some general characters. So habitat, it is free living as well as it is one of the parasitic one, and it is living in the aquatic also, and it is living in the terrestrial also, right? These are all the habitats. Okay. Organization, it is an organ system. Symmetry, of course it is bilateral symmetry, and germ layer, triple plastic germ layer, and coelom is schizocoelom. Do you remember schizocoelom? Coelom is formed from the mesodermal layer, is called it is schizocoelom, right? And segmentation, it is a segmented body we say. So segmentation is metamerism. The last class we said what is metamerism. Do you remember? The same type of this segment is repeated throughout the body. So that is called it is metamerism. So here the segment is metamerism type. Right? Okay. 6 is monoecious as well as dioecious. Monoecious means both male and female gamete will be produced from the same organism is called monoecious. Dioecious means male gamete is produced from the male organism and the female is produced from the female organisms. Is it clear? Okay. And respiratory pigment. Respiratory pigment in the sense, we have the respiratory pigment is a hemoglobin. Hemoglobin is present in the blood and this is transporting the oxygen. So we used to call it as a respiratory pigment. So here phylum Annelida consists of two types of this respiratory pigment. What is hemoglobin as well as chlorochlorine. Right? There is a respiratory pigment for this phylum Annelida. It will be asked as a 2-mark question. Right? And development, they said this is direct development also there, indirect development also there. Hope you know, right? And the larva of this indirect development is called as a trochophore larva for phylum Annelida. Is it clear? Shall we look into the special characters? So the special character they said is a nervous system as well as a circulatory system I displayed here. So the nervous system and the circulatory system they said. First of all, we can go to the nervous system, and the nervous system is a double ventral nerve cord. So it is noticed as a yellow color that nerve cord there. The yellow color nerve cord is a double ventral nerve cord. It is arising from this head region. I mean, it is a brain region. Here it is known as a ganglion. So we can say as a brain, or it is known as a ganglion. So double ventral nerve cord. Why this is a ventral nerve cord? Because it is running through the ventral side. Uppermost region is dorsal and the lowermost region is called ventral. So this double ventral nerve cord is running from the ganglion. So this is moving throughout this body. This will perform as a nervous system. Right? And circulatory system. Circulatory system consists of, it's a closed type. So circulatory system, what do you mean closed type? Blood is moving inside the blood vessels. So here we could say it consists of the heart, lateral hearts, and it consists of this dorsal vessel, ventral vessel is there. So the blood is moving inside this dorsal vessel and the ventral vessel. So we can say it is this closed type of circulatory system. Right? Okay. So the next one is a hydrostatic skeleton, which means it is one of the very peculiar character for this annelids. And here they said the annelids consist of two types of the muscles. That is, one is the longitudinal muscle, another one is the ring muscles. So inside this ring muscles, it is filled with the fluid. So that is called as a coelomic fluid. So it consists of the coelom, and the coelom is filled with the fluid substance. That's why they said it's a coelomic fluid. So these ring muscles as well as this coelomic fluid is together, it performs as like one skeleton. That is called as a hydrostatic skeleton. So it is present inside the body. Since this fluid or water support is there inside the body, they say it's a hydrostatic skeleton. Fine. And locomotion. So hydrostatic skeleton also we said it is helping for the locomotion, and some special locomotory organ also there for this certain organisms. For example, knee is, we can say it consists of one hard plate around this body, that is called parapodia. This parapodia is helping for this locomotion. And earthworm, of course, we may learn in the lower classes. The surface of this body consists of minute finger-like, hair-like projection, that is called it is setae. So the setae is helpful for locomotion. And leech is also another example for this phylum. And this consists of the sucker at this head region, that is called this sucker, which is helping for this attachment. So these are all as well as for locomotion. So these are all the locomotory organ for phylum Annelida. Understand? Shall we go to the next phylum? So the next phylum is Arthropoda. So Arthropoda is one of the largest phylum, they said. And we can look in the general characters. And the habitat is terrestrial. Organization is organ system level of organization. Symmetry is bilateral symmetry. Germ layer is triploplastic type. And xylem is schizophyllamic. Segment is, the body is segmented body, but it is not metameric type. Okay, but the segment is in various size, right? And sexes are dioecious. Reproduction is sexual reproduction, and the development is direct as well as indirect development is there. Fine. And the body divisions, they said body is divided as 3 divisions. The first region is called head region. The chest region is called as the thoracic region, and the lower end is called it is abdominal region, right? And locomotion and feeding and sense, these are all happening with the help of this joint appendages. So this is the appendages of the, it is connected each other, that is called, it is a joint appendages. So this is helping for locomotion as well as this is useful for feeding also, and maybe it is functioning as one of the sense organ also. So the joint appendage is performing as a locomotory organ, and it is using for feeding, and it is performed as sense organ also. Fine. The next one, molting or ecdysis. Molting or ecdysis means, so these kind of these organisms, the outer surface of this organism consists of this chitinous exoskeleton. Chitinous exoskeleton, and this is actually useful for protection of this body, and this will be removed periodically or shed off periodically. It is during this growth. That this process is called molting or ecdysis. Understand? And the respiratory organs. This consists of various respiratory organs, they said. As per this organisms, the respiratory organ also may vary. For example, we can say it's a book lungs. Book lungs is one of the respiratory organ. Internal gills is one of the respiratory organ, and trachea, it is also one of the respiratory organ for this phylum Arthropoda, right? And circulation is, it's an open type of circulation, already we said. Open type circulation in the sense, and there is no blood vessels to carry this blood. So this, and chamber is there, and chambers of heart is there, and the blood is moving inside, but there is no blood vessel and to carry away this blood throughout the body. So that's why this circulated type, they said it is a open type of circulatory system. And the sense organs. Sense organs, one of the sense organ is eye, and another one sense organ we can say is antenna. So the antenna and the eye is behaving as sense organs, right? And the excretion. Excretion also with the help of these few cells, they said, especially Malpighian tubule. So first figure, it is displays a Malpighian tubule. So this Malpighian tubule is useful for excretion. And another one, they said, is a green glands. So here the green color, it is mentioned there, this green glands. This green gland also helping for this excretion, right? Then this is one of the another one very important process for this phylum Arthropoda. It's a metamorphosis. Metamorphosis means this life cycle starts from egg and it passes to this larval stage, then it converted into pupa stage, and finally it becomes an adult stage. So this cycle of this life or life cycle is called as it is metamorphosis. Understand? And few examples we could say for this phylum Arthropoda, that is scorpion, cockroach, spider, and butterfly, etc. Right? So hope we have completed this 7 phylums so far, and we can look into some assignments also. So assignment, what is deuterostomia? What is spongiocele? Mention the uses of nematocyst, and what is metagenesis? What is bioluminescence? Mention the functions of flame cells. Mention the respiratory pigment of Annelida. What is ecdysis? Mention the excretory organ of Arthropoda. So everything is just 2 mark as well as 3 mark questions only. Hope you may have learned this previous portions, and please follow this today's portion also. We can meet in the next class. Until then, bye. Thank you.